How's it going, movie fans? Welcome back to another review on the channel. Today we are looking at Sonic the Hedgehog, which released in 2020, is directed by Jeff Fowler, stars Ben Schwartz and James Marsden, amongst other people as well. Yeah, it's a movie that we all know what happened to it, and I suppose we can't really go any further without talking about, you know, the prelude, if you would say, to the movie's release. In February 2020, right before the pandemic hit. But obviously, I think what we're talking about here is events that occurred way before that release date came around, and that's obviously, of course, the controversial first trailer that dropped, which has now been deleted off the Paramount Pictures YouTube channel, but it's not gone off of YouTube forever, because there are many people who have uploaded it, including professional channels that upload trailers, that kept their version of the trailer up, obviously because it's some sort of event that needs to be archived because of its almost significance in internet culture and history. And it's obviously the fact that not this trailer I'm sure that you're seeing now, but the original first trailer that released all the way back in I think it was at some point in 2019. It was September 2019. I think something like that. But it debuted at that time. We had a poster before that, and people were worried by the poster what something was going to look like in the movie. And obviously, when the trailer dropped, it was just a big, fat, fucking no. Just no. The design was horrible. Nobody liked it. It was horrendous design. It was all wrong. And to give the studio credit, most studios, when they get a backlash from a film like this, they just don't give a fuck and continue to release the movie the way it is. And this very well could have been that situation. People just raised concerns online, and the studio would have just shoved it off and said, oh, you don't know how to make movies. And the studio would have left it, the same design, and we would have been sat here now with a movie that I think people would have hated just because of the fact that Sonic looks shit. But give them credit. Give Paramount, give Sega, give anyone who's involved with the movie, the director, anyone who did it, actual credit. They listened to the response, and I give them credit for that. That's a big achievement. It's the first time a big media company has done that, and there's lots of memes going about, talking about how they listen to us when not all companies like that would listen, and they listened, and they spent 4 or 5 months redoing the entire movie. So I just want to give a big shout out to the redesigners and the design of the movie, but those people who had to spend those months in an editing room redesigning the character and then implementing that to every single body movement in the entire movie. So you did a great job, and I hope you got paid the right amount of money to do such an incredibly long and frustrating job. So yeah, I just want to give a big shout out to the animators who had to do that, and the fact that the job actually turned out really well, and Sonic looks really good in this, both in the trailer you see now, which is the second official trailer, and also the final movie. I think it helps bring that stigma of the movie that people now see the movie as a very enjoyable film, and I very much enjoyed it too. I think it's a very good family film. It's obviously a family film, and it's a very good one. It's only an hour and a half-ish long, so but it's a very good family film, and obviously the easy comparison to make is between this and Detective Pikachu, and I can see that comparison going. Honestly, I think I personally prefer Detective Pikachu, but that's not me saying this is a shit movie, because it's not a shit movie. It's actually a really good movie. So yeah, I just want to make that point, that Sonic the Hedgehog is a very fun movie, okay? But yeah, it's just a movie that I feel like the story-wise is very good. The acting, the actors and the cast is incredible. Obviously, the standout performance in this movie, in my opinion, without a flipping fudge-a-malonking ding-dungy wong-nong doubt, is of course Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik / Dr. Eggman. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. He's fantastic. He's hilarious. He really gives it his all, and it's good to see that he really does give it his all in this movie. That his career hasn't exactly had the biggest amount of movies recently, so it's good to see him go back to his classic comedy roots of a lot of 90s films that he was in, like The Mask and stuff like that, and bring those funny elements and his big expressive face that he uses constantly in his movies to Sonic the Hedgehog, And obviously we have Ben Schwartz as the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog, who, interesting when you look at any cast list, at least in the movie and on the front of the case, he is listed usually as the last person on the cast list. For instance, on the front of the box you've got James Marsden and Jim Carrey, but no mention of the guy who plays Sonic, which is a bit not very nice, is it? I think in the back of the cast list Oh, he's second on the cast list on the DVD. But my point is that the movie came out a lot better than a lot of people thought it was going to be. It's actually a very enjoyable movie, packed with a variety of references for those of you who are, proper video game fans, but it's mostly aimed at kids, which is perfectly fine. I think the movie does its job fine. The ending is brilliant. I think it has this very heartfelt, emotional... I think that the way they did it, portraying Sonic's character, and then the way they ended it is absolutely pitch perfect, and I wouldn't want it any other way, and I think it's fantastic. But also, it's good to see at the end that there is a... Tails does appear in a post-credit. Now, the two post-credit scenes in this movie technically has, are two scenes that definitely do some interesting things for what could be in the future. Obviously, the first one is Dr. Robotnik, well, Eggman, but instead of it being Jim Carrey with hair and a short moustache, it's Jim Carrey with no hair and the big fluffy moustache that Dr. Robotnik and Eggman actually has in the game. So we're getting a game accurate version of Eggman, which is brilliant. And obviously the second one is Tails, who looks fun. And obviously, if you do know, recently, it's not really a typical movie at the moment, but it's of relevance, I suppose, because Sonic the Hedgehog, the second movie, recently wrapped production, and obviously there was leaks a while ago of on-set images showing not only Sonic, not only Tails, but your boy, the one, the only, Knuckles the Echidna was on set, and his fucking body figure doubled. Obviously, because these characters aren't real people, so they have double physical models that double for them for the actors to react to. So obviously, the scenes you're seeing now with Marston in the car, there would have been an actual figurine, like a body model. I'm going to call it a body model of Sonic the Hedgehog that he would react to. So when he's looking at Sonic there, that's him looking at the body model and not physical Sonic the Hedgehog, because he's not real. And then obviously the one for, if you look at the set photos, the one for Knuckles is like 2 feet taller than the ones for Sonic and Tails. So that's fun. We haven't seen what Knuckles is going to look like yet. We've seen what Tails is going to look like, but yeah. Hope Jim Carrey returns, I don't actually know. But yeah, I think the movie has its comedy in the right places. It's shot very well, and obviously for a directorial debut from Mr. Jeff Fowler, it's really, interesting that they chose him of all people. But I think, it shows that he's willing to do the right thing in Hollywood, and I hope that it was mainly him that decided to, not mainly, but I hope he was one of the driving forces behind the change. Obviously he did say on Twitter and stuff, but, it's good to see someone so... I wouldn't say an amateur filmmaker, because no one in Hollywood is amateur these days, but someone who is a low-level newbie to the game, shall we say, finally, stepping up and doing the right thing is very interesting to see, and actually, listening to the general public is really interesting, and I applaud him for that. And I think the whole cast as a whole does a fantastic job. He did a great job directing it. The movie shot wonderful. There's some really nice shots here and there, I think, that really add to it. The colour palette is very vibrant, bright colours for most of the movie, but it's not too vibrant and bright, but it just does the right... about right, but it also does put that emphasis on the fact that the sequel is going to be so based off of how this one went. I feel like the sequel could go either way, but I feel like here the relationship between both Marsden's character and or Donut Lord, I call him between Donut Lord and Sonic is there, and I think it's brilliant to see them two bounce off of each other so well. I feel like the comedy between each other is funny, even though Sonic isn't actually real in the real world. I feel like when they were filming it, you can clearly tell that at least Ben Schwartz and James Marsden have some chemistry there that really allows them to bounce off of each other in that way. And I think Ben Schwartz does a really good job as voicing Sonic. I think there was a lot of controversy when Roger Craig Smith wasn't voicing Sonic for the movie, but I feel like that would have been very out of place here in the movie, because the movie is very different from the games, and I feel like that having Ben Schwartz do it, his voice fits this version of Sonic almost perfectly in a sense. So I just like that, and it's brilliant to see that kind of thing, new voices for Sonic, a new take on Sonic voice wise and character wise is funny. There's a few references to things like chili dogs and all that lovely stuff, and the references are there, far and few between, albeit, but they are there. I would love to review Detective Pikachu at some point, but there's also a lot of memes that have come from this movie, and you can probably see why. But I think the fact that it was so successful after such negative attention when it was first revealed really shows, and I think it really shows that if you band together to do what you not harass people, but you just make it known that a lot of people are very unhappy with this product, you can, it can work. Feedback is obviously something that, at least from this standpoint, a lot of people, at the movie studio took in its stride and decided to actually go off of it instead of just leaving it behind and saying, oh fuck, you don't have to make a movie. They were like, actually, these people, they know, you know, they might have a better idea, not a better idea, but actually these people know what they want to see of Sonic, and if there's enough people talking about it, then maybe there is a problem with what we've designed, and maybe we need to just tweak it a bit. And I'm happy that, you know, we've seen it for the first time in cinema, that something like this has happened at this scale, and it's a wonderful event, and it will always go down in history for ages. It's been over like a year now. It's been, you know, it's been well over 2 years at this point. I mean, since the original. Well, no, it's not been over 2 years, but you know, it's just fun. And yeah, thank you guys for watching my review of Sonic the Hedgehog. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Next week there will be a slight change to the program. I have 2 schedules, but unfortunately, I just want to make it known here, there will not be a review on Monday the 21st of June, as I'm at Chessington World of Adventures Resort, so I won't be able to get a review out that day. I've made the schedule so I've got a set of films that I want to talk about for those 3 days before. There may be the possibility that I record an extra review on Sunday and then upload it when I get up on Monday really, really early in the morning. That's a possibility, but I'll keep you updated in the Discord server if that will happen. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Bye bye for now.